extravaganza, because a lot of people are going to be coming here for the holidays, and some people are going to be looking at the potential to move to the Philippines. So there's about 100 random standard questions that I'm going to try to answer in today's show. And if you have a question, feel free to ask. And I'll say that again momentarily. So I have some notes. I made notes for this show. And I'm going to review the notes that I made. And I'll let you review them as well. I send myself notes in my mail because I do. So I do it like that. So I'll turn this around. You can see my mail. It's not problematic. So this is how I remember my notes. I send it to myself in the mail. So the one thing, and you're not actually going to get the pleasure of seeing this or listening to this, because in a minute ago, before I started this, we had music playing since 9 o'clock in the morning. Typically, that's when the music starts, and the music is being blasted over the best sound system I've ever heard in the Philippines. Oh, this is a great sound system they have. And they play the music for, well, 2 hours today, and then they take a break, and they may or may not play it again until this afternoon, about 2 or 3 o'clock, and they may play it again this morning. They may not. But wherever the music is coming from, and it's several hundred feet away, it's great golden oldies, the stuff like the best of the 1960s, 70s, 80s. They have Frank Sinatra. They like good music, the people that are playing the music. So there's no complaints there. And as far as it being loud, well, it's a great sound system, and they play good music, and they always shut the music off at 4 a.m. in the morning. Oh, so you don't have to worry about late night music. 4 a.m. is typically when the music goes off. Sometimes they go to bed early. Sometimes they shut the music off at 3 a.m., which is unpleasant because I like to listen to music till I wake up in the morning. So that's one thing. That's the number one thing there. That's the number one thing, the music. And the music can come from 5 or 6 different directions on any given day. Now, the next thing a foreigner may be interested in is, can you drive a car here in the Philippines? So what you should know is, yes, you can. And we'll go through the do's and don'ts and pluses and minuses of driving a car, of owning a car, of insurance, and who's responsible if and when there's an accident. You're always at fault, by the way. Cell phones and warranties, those two words are diametrically opposed to one another. The warranties are garbage. The cell phones are garbage. Typically, they last 2 or 3 months longer than the warranty, and I think that's a built-in fault, that they have built-in faults. Buying and or owning and mooring a boat here in the Philippines, moron, you can't do that. Moron, you can't do that. Boat insurance, that's not possible. You can't do that either. Warranties in general, oh, you might pay for something, but you'll never get a return on it. Driving, we'll talk about the lack of motor vehicle registrations, whereas you could be driving at night and 50% of the cars may have one tail light broken, or no tail lights working at all. 50%. Could be everybody's tail light works, but in the province, in general, one of the two tail lights is not working. Medicine, I think medicine is really cheap here. I know it's very cheap here. I've bought enough of it. Feral dogs and cats, oh, they love feral dogs and cats here. Oh, we'll talk about that in depth, especially if you live near a beach. And the expression, welcome to the Philippines, that covers all of the above. And the mental, or rather lack of mental abilities. Oh, that's a big issue here. If they say something that's not true or is in fact wrong, and you correct them, they just say, yes, sir. Yes, sir. They don't back up what they said as the truth. They don't deny that they lied, and they don't care. And they lie, last but not least, and they lie a lot. Okay, so let's get over to the video, to the live stream, and we'll see if there's anybody here yet. I'm not sure. I can't see the screen. Okay, let's copy that. Let's go over here. I think I'm live. Yeah, okay, I got 7 people watching. Okay, so if you have a question on any of
planning a trip to Bohol?
If you have a question on any of the topics that were in my mail, feel free to ask. And if you have a question that's not in the mail, feel free to ask. I will be here 10 years. 10 years. I will have been here in exactly 5 plus 11, 16 days. I will have been here 10 years. 10 years. 15 days. Flying Circus, thanks for stopping by. Flying Circus, as usual, I always ask you to post some of the content that you have up on your channel so these people can see the reality of who Flying Circus, what Flying Circus is, what he does best, and the fact that Flying Circus, this fella right here, Flying Circus, he is, in case you don't know, he is the other side of YouTube. He is the mayor of the other side of YouTube, Flying Circus. You want to get your channel link up there, Flying Circus, so these people can learn about the other side of YouTube? Okay, that's great. That's good that you can do that. Let's go back over to the notes. Let's go back over to the notes. First of all, this is me. I am the person that is going to tell you the truth about the Philippines today, baby. Because I'm going to explain to you, as it states in the title, the Philippines is not for everyone. And depending on what you're looking for when you retire, then you will make your decision. But I will tell you right now, if you think you're going to come to the Philippines, and if you think it's going to be anything like America, living either in a big city or in the province, it's not. Get it straight right now. Nothing in the Philippines is like it is in America. Nothing. The stores that sell you stuff, for instance, a new computer, the computer could have sat in the original vacuum wrap bag for 3 years. Okay? So, and it's still a new product. It could have sat, but it can sit in that black plastic bag for 3 years on the shelf, and they sell it to you as a new computer. But then when you look at the registrar number on the computer, it says this unit 10X1 was built 3 years prior to the date of purchase. But once you order the computer, then you put the money on the counter, and then they open the bag, and then you find out that the computer is 3 years old. But of course, the computer has a 30-day money-back warranty. It says it right on the bottom of the ticket. But that's not true. And I should tell you that story first, because most people are going to come here. You're going to need a computer, that's for sure. And most computers in America are 110 volts. The Philippines runs on 220. So you can either buy a converter or have a computer that works on both. But let's say this is just, it's a big ticket item, so we'll talk about that first. Not the big ticket items. I'm waiting for you guys to show up. And then we'll talk about cars and boats and things of that nature. So you buy a computer. The fella in the store, they lying. When they're selling you something, they're salespeople. The people in the computer store are comparable to used car dealers in a middle to lower class neighborhood in America. They're gonna do anything they can to sell you that computer, and they're gonna lie right from the get-go. So my Lenovo computer that I have now, I'm not happy with this at all. But let's talk about the computer I bought before that, a Hewlett-Packard. So I went into a store in the BQ Mall. This is standard out. I had to have the police. The police had to be there for me to get my money back that day, the next day, and the day after. They had to be at the store in order for me to have what was written on the warranty on the sales slip to get my money back. The police had to come to the store, detective. So I buy a Hewlett-Packard, and I buy it in the BQ Mall, which is a bad place to buy electronics in general. It's just, I've never bought anything from the BQ Mall that I was happy with. Anything, nothing electronic, not the outside, the external speakers for the computer. They broke. The little Bluetooth, Wi-Fi speaker that's supposed to Bluetooth to your computer, they last a month. So I buy a Hewlett-Packard, and this is standard now. Don't think that I'm making this up. So this is standard. I buy a Hewlett-Packard computer. It's 30 or 39. I'm thinking 39,000 pesos it was. Okay, 39,000. So at the time, the peso was a little less than 50 pesos for $1. So I paid $800 US for the computer. But my Asus i5, when it failed after having it for 8 years, I had the computer for 8 years, it failed. So I don't know what failed, but here they would not even, after they looked at the model number, they would not even look at the computer. They wouldn't turn it on. They wouldn't open it up. This is the Asus dealer and the repair shops. They will not. If it's 5 years old, they won't open it up to look at it, because they tell you 5 years old, sir, no parts available. Will they look it up? No. Do they know for a fact that there's no parts available? No. Are they telling you the truth? Absolutely not. What they're telling you is to buy a new computer. So 5 years old from the model number date, could be only 3 years since you bought it, but 5 years old from the model number, we don't fix anything older than 5 years. So I brought it to the Asus dealership, and they still would not open it up. And if anybody could get parts from my Asus computer, they could, but it was 8 years old. So they said, just buy a new one. Well, a new Asus at the time, during the lockdown, was about 100,000 pesos, 2,000 US dollars, to replace the i5 with an i7 with some super amount of storage. So I didn't want to do that. So now I go and I buy a Hewlett-Packard from the BQ Mall. And on the receipt, it says it's an i5, and it was 800 US dollars, 40,000 pesos. And they tell me it's 100% warranty and 30-day money-back guarantee. So 100% warranty on the sales receipt. That's what it says. So I bring it home. I tell them, have it ready for me this afternoon. Daisy and I went into the store. We bought the computer at 9 o'clock in the morning. I says, have it done by 2 o'clock. I'll be back. We're going to go to the ICM mall. Yes, sir. I get back at 2 o'clock. They hadn't even started doing the computer, prepping it for sales. Not even started. They just forgot about it. Or they got busy and there's no way of knowing because they lie. Okay, so the computer, by 5 o'clock, it's ready. I already had a 10-hour day. We had left for the city at 7 o'clock to get vegetables in the morning. 5 o'clock, we take it home. I copy 50 gigs of videos off my drive, off this drive here. Off a drive that looks like this. My Giga drives. I have a big drive. I copy 50 gigs. 50 gigs is nothing for an i7 or an i5. My i5 would take 100 gigs, and you just put it in the computer and go. And I put 50 gigs, copy it, paste it into the computer. The computer goes, whoop, freezes up. This is what's wrong with the Philippines. Freezes up. So I call the people, the store's open till like 9 o'clock at night, and I tell them what happened. Yes, sir, bring it back in the morning. We'll fix it. So I bring it back the next morning, and they can't fix it. For whatever reason is, I brought the drive, I bring the computer, they can't fix it. So I says, okay, do you have another Hewlett-Packard i7? No, sir. But we have, I don't remember the brand, but we have another computer. It could have been Hewlett-Packard, but it might not have been. Not for 39,000, not for 40,000 pesos, for 49,999, 50,000, another $200. So I said, no, I don't want to. Are you going to give that to me? Are you going to exchange it, even swap? No, sir. It's another 11,000 pesos. I says, okay, I'll just take my money back. No, sir. What do you mean, no, sir? No, sir, no, sir, what, no, sir? No, sir. You cannot have your money back. You have to buy another computer. I says, it says it on the bottom of the receipt. Yes, sir. They agree, it says it on the bottom of the 30 days, 100% warranty, money back warranty. Yes, sir. But you can buy another computer. Yes, I can. And I will take another computer for the same price, but I don't want to spend any more money. That's my budget. No, sir. No money back. I says, all right, I will go get the police. Yes, sir. You get the police. So I did. Only a block away is a police station, so I went and got the police. I brought a detective back. And the detective got the manager, and the manager said, what's the problem? And to the police officer said, what's the problem? To the manager, and the manager says, well, sir, he bought this computer, but he doesn't want to upgrade. Well, I don't. It doesn't. I don't want. I don't want to upgrade. I don't have the money. I don't want to spend any more money. And the warranty in your store is not good. You have a you have a fraudulent promise warranty. Just give me back my money. So the police, he knows that I'm right, and because it says it, 100% money back warranty, and the receipt is for 9 o'clock yesterday morning, and here it is 9:30 the next day. So the police says to the lady, well, you're going to have to give him back his money. So he can buy a new computer. I said, I don't want to spend more money. And the policeman, he understood this. He said, ma'am, you're going to have to give him back his money, or we'll have to write up a report. So right away, she says, okay, we'll give you back your money. Come back tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. I said, well, why can't we do it now? No, sir. It takes 24 hours to process a refund. So I came back the next day. I talked to the manager, and the manager walked me about 100 feet away, less than 100 feet away, to a desk. She signed a paper. They gave me back my money. So this in America could never happen. If the computer didn't work in America, they would say, we don't have an $800 computer, but we have a $1,000 computer. Will you take our $1,000 computer in lieu of the $800 computer with no extra money? And of course, you will say yes or you will say no, but they will give you the better computer. They will not do that here. Now, let's say you buy a 220-volt air compressor. There's a 7-day warranty on that. You have to pay $20 to have it delivered to your house, but you don't have 220 set up with a plug for your air compressor. So let's just say that 7 days goes by, because on Sunday, Build-A-Wear is closed. So you don't think that Sunday counts, but Sunday counts. So you bring it back on Monday, which is the 8th day, but it's really the 7th day because Sunday they're closed. The warranty, now you pay $20 to get it home, and you pay $20 to get it back, and now the warranty is void because it's 7 days plus 1 day that they were closed. They don't count. It counts the day the building was closed. So you don't get your money back, and then you get to pay $20 to bring the machine back, take the motor off, and put a new motor on it, which you're going to buy from Build-A-Wear. That's the Philippines. All right, I'm going to read the comments. DNC is here. Okay. Engineered obsolescence. That's true. That's what it is. And if you don't think, thanks for stopping by, DNC. They can program basically anything to happen to a cell phone or a computer after you turn it on and off a certain amount of clicks. Just the same way they know how many times a push button on a mouse is going to work. A machine does this until the mouse fails. Well, electronically, they can make the mouse fail, or a computer chip fail, by shutting off a circuit. Okay, so let's talk about the next topic on my list of things to talk about. So if you think you're going to come to the Philippines and get the kind of service you have in America, you're not going to get anything like that. Now, let's talk about cell phones, okay? We did a cell phone video yesterday, but what I'm going to show you right now is $3,200 worth of cell phones that don't work. that are less than 1.5 years old. Okay, so this cell phone that you're looking at in the mirror, you see the lines on the screen? This screen has about 1 more month, and then the screen on this $1,550 cell phone is going to be obscured where you cannot see the screen. This is 18 months, this is September of 2022. This is 14 and a half months old. In order to fix this screen, the warranty only covers software. This is a hardware problem. So even if it happened the next day, it doesn't count. It happens to many of the Samsung Galaxy 21 Pro Max phones. Many of them. And it happens in less than 2 years. And it happens that there's no warranty on this. And they know it happens. And it's happened to other people that are in the store when I go there. So, $1,550, and it lasted 12 and a half months is when the lines started. What was the reason that the lines occurred? The fella in the store, he said to me, it could be an update problem. Well, so that means they know there's a problem. Did you update your phone recently? Yeah, I updated it a few days ago. And when did the line start? Right after the update. Right after the update, the line came on the phone. The next time I turned the phone on, there was one line on the screen. One. And the fella says, well, the phone will last another 2 months. And the lady started laughing. So what are you laughing about? She goes, 1 month, sir. So the lady told me the phone is only going to last 1 month, and she was laughing. This is the salesperson, the lady that sold me the phone 14 months ago. She thought it was funny. I said, well, can you fix it? Yes, sir. Well, how much would that be? $350. 17,800 pesos for a new screen. I said, well, how much is a new phone? So she says about $450. I said, well, the same model, same make? Yes, sir. You could buy a refurbished one for $350 with no warranty. So there is basically garbage warranties and garbage tech support for Samsung. But it holds true with the iPhone, and it also holds true with this phone here. Techno phone. This is a piece of garbage. Techno. This is a piece of garbage. The iPhone 13 Pro Max. This is $1,500. This is $70. That's $1,570. And this phone here is $1,550. So that's $3,200 roughly. I am holding $3,200 worth of junk. That's not. This is 4 months old, $70 repair, $8 repair, it's 4 months old. This is $60, $100, or $500 repair if the $60 or $100 repair does not work. $65 for the repair, $100 from another dealer, or $500 for a new screen. And this one is a $350 or $450 repair. And all of these phones are less than 15 months old. The warranty on the iPhone. How did this green screen occur? Yes, Emmett. Right. Okay, so Emmett says he has an iPhone 23 Ultra. Luckily, I have a deal that allows me to, for screen damage, $100, or if I smash the whole phone, $250 for a full replacement. Yeah, the 20. Yeah, but do you live in the Philippines? I don't know. Do you live in the Philippines? We don't have that. We don't have that option here. There was no option to buy insurance with my phone. I tried, but there's no option. So if you don't live in the Philippines, in America, they have those insurance programs. Thanks for the knowledge. Thank you. So, what did he say? Did he say yes or no or what? Okay, there's no answer yet whether he lives in the Philippines. So this phone here, yes, I'm in the Philippines. That's correct. Yeah, we're two different animals, Philippines and America. Yes, I'm in the Philippines. So this phone, the iPhone. So this happened. No, this happened because of an update. The fellow said, did you update your phone? I said, yes. He goes, sometimes it happens when you update the phone. But if you don't update the phone, it doesn't work right. Okay, so that happened because of an update. And this green screen happened because of an update. When I went into the store, they fixed a mode problem. Portrait or landscape. They fixed the problem for me. But he said, you need to update your phone. So I went home and updated the phone, and then this happened. If you update the phone for the iOS 17, iOS 17 update, this happens to 5% of all iPhone 13s. So when I brought it back 2 days ago, I said to him, this happened. He goes, yes, sir. Sometimes that happens when you update the phone. I said, well, you told me to update the phone. Why didn't you tell me about this problem? Yes, sir. What do you mean, yes, sir? Yes, sir. It happens. Well, you could have told me. Yes, sir. But he didn't think about it because he doesn't care. I said, well, what is the solution? She said, you go over there. He can fix it for you. So they can fix it. $63 for one fix, $85 for another fix, and $120 from a different store. No guarantee that it will work. But you have to pay them if it doesn't work, the fix. But if it works, you have a 1-week warranty on the fix. What? This is like a circular argument. If it works, there's a 1-week warranty. If it doesn't work, I have to pay you for this iPhone, not for this one. If this $8 fix doesn't work, you don't pay. But the iPhone, you have to pay in advance for them to fix the phone. So this is one problem that you have. There's no insurance. Hey, Steve, 25901. Thanks for stopping by. So, that's this. Now, some people can bring their phones from America, and some phones, you bring it to the manufacturer of the phone. Like the Samsung phone, you buy it in America, the 23S. You can bring it to a Samsung store in the Philippines, and they can upgrade it somehow that it will work in the Philippines, but not all cell phones can be converted to Philippines language, or Philippines. They can't convert all phones, only some. Now, let's just talk about another problem that you're going to have when you move to the Philippines. If you drive a car and you think you're going to come to the Philippines and drive a car, you can do that for 90 days. Your license is good for 90 days. But if you drive a car and you get into an accident, apparently you're going to either borrow a car or buy a car. Most cars, you can't get the full value of the insurance for the car. It's not like America. You can get, on an older car, maybe you can get $2,000 worth of collision and compensation for accident insurance, maybe $2,000. And it's not expensive, but that's where it maxes out on used cars when I looked at buying a car, and that was 5 years ago. So you can buy a minimal amount of insurance, but you have to pay for that, of course. Now, if you get into an accident and the car causes more damage than the $2,000, you take that out of your pocket. But here's the problem with driving in the Philippines. If you hit a motorcycle driver, well, his compensation might only be $2,000 as well. And his hospital bills may be $4,000. You're responsible for the hospital bills. But if he is injured and he cannot go back to work, you have to pay his salary until he's able to go back to work, which could be a month or a year or 2 years or 5 years or forever. If you hurt the man bad enough, you may pay his salary until you die or until he dies. But you will pay his salary, or they'll put you I guess they'll put you in jail. I'm not real sure what happens, but I would never drive a car here. I thought about it, and I would never do it. And I drove commercial trucks. You know, I had a 6-yard dump truck, and I had a backhoe, and I had a backhoe trailer with a commercial driver's license up to 15,000 pounds. And then I would tow my bobcat or my backhoe on the back with the trailer. So I also had a 16-foot box truck that I drove all over New York City. I would never drive here. I would never drive here. The people here don't have brake lights, and if you hit them, it's your fault. If someone crosses the street on a motorcycle and you hit them, it's your fault, and you have to pay their hospital bills. Forever, maybe, till they get better. You'd have to ask Flywoods One about that. He had that problem, and he had to pay somebody's hospital bills, and I think he had to pay some compensation to the man as well. So owning a car is problematic. Now, I think you could buy a new car with full insurance, but that's a new car. So you're looking at $40,000 or whatever a new car costs. Now, if you owned a boat in America and you want to own a boat here, forget that. Forget that. There's no place to dock it, which means you leave it out on an anchor. And if the motor, which boat motors cost $3,000 to $5,000, if the motor and the boat, and they just cut the anchor line, and they take the boat and they take the motor, that's $3,000 or $5,000. There's no insurance on boats at all. Nothing like that. No insurance at all. So, and there's no place to dock it because there's no docks. So forget that. Now, moving on, forget owning a boat, forget mooring a boat at a dock, forget insurance for a boat if you do buy a boat, forget all of that. Now you want to play golf. I don't even know if there's a golf course in Bohol. I don't think there is. So there's many places that they don't have golf courses. And many people retire to play golf. That's not an option. In Manila, someplace up in the province, they have a golf course. In Bohol, they don't, that I know of. And if it is, it's 100 miles away. Now we get into the good stuff. The good stuff is amusement parks. Let's just say you did move here and you wanted to go to a water park. Well, you got to go to Cebu or Manila to go to a water park because they don't have water parks on most islands. Well, let's say you wanted to go bowling. In Bohol, you can't go bowling. I don't know about Cebu or Manila. Probably you can. But in Bohol, you can't. Most islands have no bowling alleys and no water parks. And let's say you want to go scuba diving, because that's my passion, was to move here to go scuba diving and swimming. Well, the water is warm here, and the water is also extremely questionable anywhere near a big city. The water is clear, and you can see down 20 or 30 feet, and the water also has a large bacteria count in the water. Bigly. Where if you go online and look up the bacteria count for that island, for that municipality, for that area, it will say, for instance, in Lapu-Lapu, Cebu, the water's clean, clear, and the bacteria count is, you may as well be swimming around inside a septic tank. That's how bad the pollution is in Cebu city proper. And for 20 miles in each direction up and down the coast. So you have to take a boat, and the boat ride is $70 for one person. So 2 people will cost you $140 for a 5-hour trip. So it's not, and it's an old, well, it's a wooden boat. The smaller ones have no bathroom. When you have to go to the bathroom, they stop the boat, you jump off the boat, you go to the bathroom, and you get back on the boat. The bigger boats have a little shelter and a porta potty inside the shelter. But it's $70 to go for 2 dives. And the dives are typically about, 10-minute ride to the dive site, maybe 15 minutes. So in America, it's $70 and you get to go out on $1 million yacht with a shower, a freshwater outside shower. You get an orange and an apple and a bag of potato chips after your first dive, and the same after your second dive for $70. Here, you pay $70. They don't have water, they don't have foods, and they don't have a bathroom. Not like we're used to. So these are the things, some of the things that you give up when you move here. For instance, if you go to my friend's, he died now, passed away, but if you go to the typical dive center in Key Largo, Florida, a dive is $70 from, let's say, the Amore Dive Center on the bay side of Key Largo at 103. You get on the boat, it's got a bathroom on it, it's got a big screen TV, it's got a freshwater shower, everybody gets an orange or an apple and a bag of potato chips after each dive. 2 dives, 2 apples or 2 oranges, 2 cans of Coke, and 2 bags of potato chips. That's part of the $70. You get on the boat, you travel a half a mile to the cut, you go through the most beautiful $10 million mansion houses through a canal that's about a half a mile long. Then you go into a bird sanctuary where there's alligators and or crocodiles, thousands of blue herons, white herons, and swans and pelicans. You might see 1,000, you might see 5,000. Then you get to the ocean, and you travel on the ocean for about 40 minutes. Some dive sites are 40 minutes away. So you're on the boat for 2 hours to the first dive site. And all the while on the boat, it has music, it has big screen TV, it has freshwater showers, there's 40 people on the boat to talk to from all over the world. Everybody speaks English. And it's a trip for $70. Here it's $70. You get on an old wooden boat with no bathroom, no water, no oranges, no apples, no potato chips, no music, and no big screen TV for the same price as you would pay for a multi-million-dollar boat in Key Largo. So you don't get a discount on diving. If you bought a boat, there's no discount on the cost of a boat. And there's no insurance for your boat and nowhere to park it. But even if you had a boat, let's say you had a boat. Let's say you aren't boatless like I'm boatless. Let's say that you had a boat. You had a boat and I don't have a boat, and you could go around telling people I got a boat and you don't. Let's say that's possible. There is exactly 0 fuel docks that you can go to the fuel dock and buy gasoline for your boat in Bohol that I know of. And I've been up and down this coast for 10 years. I have never seen a place where you could pull the boat up and buy gas. Ever. But you have to bring your own gas to the boat. And fuel here is more money than in the United States. 1 liter of fuel is 71 pesos per liter. That's 284 pesos per gallon. 71 and 71, yeah, 284 pesos. So that's $6 plus. $6 a gallon, like $5.75. Let's look it up so I'm correct about this. So let's just go 284 pesos, and then I'll check the comments. Maybe. $284 pesos. To dollars. $5.75, $5.12. Okay, all right, because the peso went, the value of the dollar went up. So that's $5 per metric gallon for fuel. Yeah, the poop deck, says Steve. Nice story, says my edits. Thank you. Blue TV Woman Ice. Hi there, what are you doing? What am I doing? I'm trying to explain to people that they're not coming to the Philippines and going to get the same kind of services that you get in America or the prices. So if you owned a boat and if your boat used, I don't know what kind of boat you people own, but I owned a boat that used 100 gallons an hour. That's 400 liters per hour. That was the boat that I owned. If I ran the boat hard, I needed to put 100 gallons of fuel in the boat in about an hour and 10 minutes. So 400 liters. How would you get 100 gallons of fuel to a boat? If you owned a big boat, you cannot own a big boat here. That's the problem. You can't own... Now, if you owned a big boat, you could moor it in Bohol. For a 30-foot boat, it's $1,500 US per month, plus electric and water, from 6 years ago. That was the price 6 years ago, $1,500. I don't know what it is now. So owning a boat would cost you about $2,000 a month for a 30-foot boat. Sailboat, that was a sailboat. You're not moving here to go boating. You're not moving here to play golf. You're not moving here to tool around in a car, because there's really no place to go. I mean, there's a few places in Bohol that are sightseeing, and after you do those, you're done. So now what else is there to do? The average foreigner, and I don't really like talking about foreigners that much, but the average foreigner comes here to date young women and drink alcohol. And in that order, flip-flop it any way you want. I know of people, I know where they live on expat trash that live in Bohol. I don't mention who they are and where they live, but there are people on expat trash that live in Bohol. I don't care that they do what they do, but I'm just saying the average foreigner that I know, and I am talking about all of the foreigners that I know, except for myself, all of them enjoy alcoholic beverage, in my opinion, more than they should. But that's their prerogative. I don't know of a foreigner that doesn't drink alcohol or do other substance abuse. I don't know of any, except myself. I have not. Next week it will be 2 years. No, next week it will be 3 years since I had a cigarette. 3 years, on December 2nd. And I drank last Christmas Eve with Scott Del Fuego. Him and I had a few drinks on Christmas Eve, and halfway between then and now, I had a half a glass of beer. But last year, I don't think I drank at all, the year before Christmas for the previous year. So in a few weeks, it will be 2 years since I had a drink, except with my friend Scott for Christmas Eve. We had a chat on Skype, and we both went our separate ways. It was a Skype conversation. We wished each other a Merry Christmas, and we moved on. But since then, a half a glass of beer. Most foreigners, I just saw a foreigner walk by the house. He drinks 18 beers a day. 18 beers a day. 18 beers a day. Well, he did. I don't talk to him much anymore. But he drinks 18 beers a day, and he starts drinking right after breakfast. And he drinks 18 beers a day. But he does walk a lot. He does a lot of walking. He walks it off. He's not heavy set or anything like that, but that's his life. He wakes up, lives in a nice place, has breakfast, whatever that is, has breakfast, and then drinks 18 beers. Now, I know of the fella that owns a bar in Alona Beach. He wakes up, and any of the potato chips, pretzels, popcorn, Frito-Lays, Wise potato chips, Pringles, they all get confiscated at the end of the night. If someone leaves a bag of chips on the table, it goes in under the bar. If someone leaves a bag of pretzels under the table, this is the owner of a bar. And the waitresses know to save the chips, unless they want to eat them themselves. And they put all the chips in a box under the bar somewhere. And in the morning, he gets up and he mixes all of that stuff together in a bowl with a bottle of taco sauce, like that you'd put on cheese, like you'd put it on a potato chip. That's his breakfast. And I watched him do that every day when I lived in Alona Beach. That would be his breakfast. But he doesn't do that till about 11:30. It's really lunch. It's not. And he did that for many years. That's his life, man. And all the guys that I knew in the bar from that time, they're all dead from alcohol. From alcohol. So going back 10 years, I would say, hey, where's Crazy Tom? Ah, he died. What happened to your friend Joe? No, Joey passed away. The guy is still alive, but he was gone for a year and a half in the hospital with liver problems. Now, I don't know that he drinks anymore or any less, but he did have liver problems. This is what they come to the Philippines to do, to drink. That's what they do. That's what people do here. They come here to drink, and they come here to date young girls. Now, the latter, I could understand, but the former, I cannot. Because what's the point of drinking that much alcohol? You're after the age of 40, that kind of inhibits the latter of dating little girls or young girls. Too much alcohol and nothing happens. Oh, of course, there's the blue pill, but this is what they do here. There's nothing for the average person to do. That's why people go on YouTube. That's why YouTube exists, gives somebody a hobby. Now, some people, there's like that I grew up with in Florida, where I grew up, where I lived in Key Largo from 1993 on, people had race cars. And they would race at the track up in Homestead, the Homestead racetrack. The fella that has the world record, until a year ago, he sailed across the Atlantic Ocean in a 5-foot-long sailboat. 5 foot. It's the world record. It's a Norwegian or Swedish fella. He lived about a mile from my house, a little less than a mile from my house. He was a sailor. He had a big sailboat also, but his hobby was sailing across oceans, and he would have the boat flown to different oceans all over the world and sail across them because he was rich and had nothing to do. Other people fly planes. You can't fly a plane here. You can rent a plane in Cebu. Would I fly it? No. I wouldn't even rent one to fly. A little Cessna or a Cherokee. I don't have, my license isn't valid anymore, but I wouldn't do it anyway. You're not gonna, there's not much to do here. So now, let me read the comments. Real deal. I love young women and beer. That's a fact. That's for sure. That, he loves that. He's not telling you a lie about that. So, I don't drink now, so I guess it's hookers and filing lawsuits. Lawsuits from the hookers and lawsuits. That should be the name. That should be the name of his channel. Hookers and lawsuits. Hookers and lawsuits. That would be a great name. Hookers and lawsuits. That would be a good name. So let's see. We have DNC. Says hello to Steve. Blue woman. Okay, so those are your options when you come here. And I don't drink. I never drank alcohol. I never liked it. I did for when my leg was really monkeyed up. I drank a lot to kill the pain, because one thing that they won't give you here in the Philippines is they won't give you painkillers. Even after I had my hernia operation, the only pain medication that they would give me was only in the hospital. They gave me something called tramadol, liquid tramadol, and that was intravenous. But when I got out of the hospital, you could buy tramadol pills for like 20 cents a pill, or you could take ibuprofen, but they won't give you oxycodone, will not give you any kind of pain medication here that I know of. 10 years ago, if you had a root canal, they would give you two pain pills. Two. That would be it. That would be the prescription, would be for 2 pills. But now they won't do that either. So your only option is really to dating girls. I mean, if that's what you come here for, that's available option. Those options are available 24/7. Go on a place called Pinoy Love, Pinoy, Pinoy Love, and your life has been fulfilled. You'll have all kinds of people shouting at you, "Hey, how you doing?" And they'll meet with you the same day. So that's an option if that's what you want to do. That's something to do here. Not for me personally. I don't agree with that, but that's something for you to do. Now, I like to go swimming, and when the tide is right, on occasion I go swimming, but because of I have a wound on my leg, it's not good to stay in the water too long, so I can't do that as much as I'd like to. And then I can't go scuba diving anymore, so there's really not a lot to do. So YouTube is an option. Dating young girls off Pinoy Love, I will pass on that. Thank you very much. Dating in general, to me, it's not worth the effort or the time, and it's certainly not worth the aggravation. Because for me, it's not worth the aggravation. If you are of that inclination, then that's something for you to do. But that's it, man. After that, I can't think of anything else to do. In America, I had tobacco business, I had a bobcat business, I had a tree service business, landscaping. I had my Cobra Mustang, where I could take a trip anywhere in a nice, comfortable car. Can't do that here. You couldn't even own. Since I've been in the Philippines, you might see maybe one Corvette every 1 or 2 years. You might see one running down the road. Because the roads here are not built for low suspension cars. So fast, quick sport cars, no, you don't see that. You don't see no Harley Davidsons, although there is a Harley Davidson repair shop on Bohol now, this year. But if you ride a Harley, there's a few people. There's a Harley club if you ride a Harley. There's definitely a Harley club, and they have their own jackets. I'm not sure what they are. And there's even a Harley Davidson repair center, but that's now. 5 years ago, I don't remember seeing that there. So if you ride a motorcycle, a real motorcycle, then there is a Harley place, and there are Harley riders. So if that's your passion, that's possible. But I'm trying to think. Anybody else have any other hobbies that they like? I'll tell you if it's available. Real Deal says, I are joining. You're always talking about gays, Real Deal. I don't know why you do that. I are joining the gay cult, Fazio. Your mates, you talk to them in the background. You like to talk about gays in every one of the videos that I make. You have a reason for that? Okay? You don't make any sense because your English wording, what is that? Is that like Australian English? What is that supposed to be? I are joining the gay club, cult, Fazio, your mates, you talk to them in the background. I talk to a lot of people, but none of my friends are gay. I'm not so sure about other people, what they do with their lifestyle. You're about 3 times you talk about gay people on my live stream. Do you have a reason to talk about gay people on my live stream? Are you trolling here? They do seem to like to dance and sing. I don't know what you're talking about, Steve. Okay, I'll wait for your response, but I wonder why you do that. I'm switching over. Hold on. I can't read it on this cell phone because the line's on the cell phone. I'm switching over to stay on my mattress and animal husbandry until the law catches me on that. Yeah, okay. Hey, Sam, thanks for stopping by. Real deal. The answer to your question is no, I'm not. But I do know a lot of people on here that are gay, or at least have gay tendencies, but I'm not one of them. To answer your question, probably more people than would be expected, but no, I like women. I always liked women. Have you ever seen me say or do anything that was gay, other than the fact that I won't pay for prostitutes? That's a real question. You can answer that. Have you ever seen me do anything with a gay man? Talk to a gay man? I don't know what it is that you're trying to get at. Okay, you're done here. You can leave all the comments you want. I just won't respond to them. I don't have any gay friends at all. Not even one. Not one. Well, if they are gay, I don't know who they are. And that's probably a good thing. Thanks, Flying Circus. Or DNC, thank you. I don't understand why you do that. I know why you're trying to do that, real deal. You are trying to rile me up so that I will say something that you can flag the video for. But I personally don't know of anybody that I stay with that's gay. Personally, it wouldn't be my preference. But I do know a lot of YouTubers that hang out with other gay men. And that's okay. If you want to do that, or they want to do that, that's your prerogative, but it's not mine. So now you can't come on my channel. This is the 3rd time you come here, and the 3rd time you talk about gay men or gay topics. That's crazy stuff, man. I think that you should think more about what it is that what is the question? Who are you questioning? Why are you questioning them? Maybe there is something that you don't understand when I said no the last 2 times. Moving on, you won't be back under that name for sure, and we'll fix that right now. Okay. You're gone. I don't let people troll my channel. And I asked you not to do that once before, but now you're gone. Start a new channel. Say what you want. But to come on other people's channel and troll them to get them going is just not what I would do. I don't do it to your friends. I don't do it to you. I don't even do it. I don't troll anybody for any reason. I don't have an account that I troll people under a fake name, and I don't appreciate it much at all. Okay, so we're done with that topic. So let's see. Let's go back to the topic in the mail. Let's go back over here. Medicine here, if you have the need of medicine here, medicine is quite a bit cheaper. Hospital costs, say for a blood test, it costs you about $70 for a blood test. Right? In America, it would cost a few $100s. So the cost of hospital tests and or medicines is quite a bit less. Like, let's say you take a pill called amoxicillin 625, and you have here, if you buy it in a over-the-counter, in a Rose pharmacy, or a 360 pharmacy, those are the big name pharmacies, you pay top dollar. And you pay for amoxicillin 625, 500 milligrams, you'll pay 85 pesos or $1.50 per pill. In America, I don't know what that would cost, but if you buy the same amoxicillin 625 in a generic store, you'll pay about $1 per pill. So it goes from $1.50 to $1. If you buy that pill in America, it could cost you, I think, $5 a pill. I think someone said it was about $5 a pill. So it's 3 times less money here for the same medicine. And that's for Filipino or foreigners' prices. So pills, medicine, and like a blood work is $70. In America, that would cost you about $300. So it's a lot less expensive for blood work and pills here. Okay? Dogs and cats. Get used to that. Get used to dogs and cats. Because people here will allow a dog or a cat to have kittens or puppies forever. Forever. Until there's 60 dogs on the block. And then eventually somebody will call the dog catcher, dog pound up, and they'll come down the block and grab all the dogs that don't have a collar on them. So feral dogs and cats are everywhere. Cat poop and dog poop is everywhere in the province. On the beach, I think there's about 50 dogs on the beach that's in front of my house. In about a half a mile, there might be 50 stray dogs. They don't bite, but they're there. And then when you do buy something in the Philippines and they tell you that the warranty is for one week, 7 days, that's what it is. It's 7 days. It's not 8 days. If you buy something like a computer, they will tell you, no, I don't. See, I never had this problem in America because I bought everything from Egg, E-G-G, Egg, I think that was it. Newegg computer products. You have a problem, they just ship you another one the same day and you ship it back with a shipping label. Here, you have to bring the computer to the city. And they tell you, don't worry, it's all 100% software warranty. And it is, but you have to bring the computer there, and that's an hour and a half to the city, an hour and a half back. You have to leave it there for a week or two, so you don't have your computer. It's not like in America where you go there, somebody will fix it the same day. Or Newegg. If it's a new computer, they just send you a new computer. It's not, nothing is like it is in America. I don't know about other countries, and I really don't care about other countries, but Like my Asus computer, I bought it, never had a problem with it till it broke in the Philippines in 8 years. But I did have a computer before that, a Dell computer, an SC990 computer. And I think it was a 990. And it broke. And Dell just sent me another computer the same day. The next day it was in front of my house. And then that broke. And a month later they sent me another computer with a shipping label for a return. So here, there's no such thing. You will buy the computer, the software will be under warranty, but you might have to leave the computer in the city for 2 weeks. But if it's hardware, Asus has a hardware repair center here, but if Hewlett-Packard has no hardware repair center here, so you have to send it to Manila. It will be gone 6 weeks. So if you buy a brand new Hewlett-Packard computer and it breaks down, the computer will have to be gone for 5 to 6 weeks. My cell phone, this piece of junk, the iPhone, will be gone if they send it back to iPhone, wherever that is, somewhere between 4 and 7 weeks. So you got to try to get it fixed here, but it won't be an iPhone certified repair center. It won't be an iPhone. Here you get it fixed by a technician that can fix it, and it could cost between $65 and $130, and maybe it will work. An iPhone will change the screen only for $500. So you don't have a lot of options here. Now, what are you coming here for? That all makes the difference, what you're coming to the Philippines for, because there's not much to do here. And you got to deal with a lot of people that make a lot of promises in regards to electronics or automobile warranties and things like that. It's just not going to happen. Simulacron says, what do the stray dogs eat? Well, there's a large amount of tourists on the beach, a large amount. Like on any given day, 1,000 people could go past my house to go diving. And the people that walk to the beach, they bring the dogs their scrap food. The Chinese and Korean people and American and English people, they give the dog the scraps. They intentionally bring the dogs foods. And then there's like 9 major hotels here on the beach. So the dogs will go to the hotels and they'll stand there and wait for people to throw food at them. Or they figure out where to get food from. I don't know where they get food from because I don't feed them. But I know that the people that go to the beach, you're always seeing them give some of their sandwiches to the dogs or some of their foods. And maybe they bring their food from the night before. Who knows where they get food? Good question, though. Good question. I'm not real sure. But there's 50 dogs on the beach. Maybe if I ever get my cell phone fixed, where I could do a live stream in the landscape position, because this cell phone now, this one here with the lines in it, even though they reprogrammed it to do landscape, it doesn't do landscape anymore. It only does portrait. So I brought it back to them 2 days ago. I said, it won't go into the landscape mode. Yes, sir. Well, can you get it to? No, sir. So now this phone was $1,550, and it won't go into the landscape mode. and it has the lines on the screen, and it's 15 months old. How do they justify that? They justify it because that's the way you buy the phone. It's what you got. There's no warranty. Like I said, there's no service plan that you can buy. Like the phone breaks, you lose the phone, lost phone. I lost my phone. You pay maybe $7 a month for an insurance plan, and you lose the phone, you get another phone. They don't have anything like that here. So, but moving back to the stray dogs, I don't know. I have no idea where they get food from. I never gave it any thought. I know that the dogs will go into the garbage pails. The dogs will take, if you leave food on a blanket, they'll grab the food off the blanket unless you're sitting right there. They'll walk right up to the blanket and kind of like beg you for it. They're not very aggressive, but they'll wait for you to give them food. That I see, but I don't know where they get food from. I guess they get it from people that feel that it's good. Let's feed the mangy, flea-bitten dogs, flea-bitten dogs. Let's feed all the stray dogs in the world. So they have more stray dogs. There's so many little puppies. And then you have people that come here and leave. They bring their dog to the beach from the city, and with the puppies. They'll bring 4 puppies and a dog here, and they leave the dog and the puppies on the beach. Of course, they can't afford to feed the dog, and they don't want a responsibility of having 4 dogs. They just leave them. Every week there's new dogs. Every day sometimes. It's a strange place. And the animal they don't have an ASPCA like we have in America. I've never called them, but they only come every few months, 4 or 5 months. They come and collect everything. They collect every dog that's on the beach, if they can. They have these huge, huge nets. They're like 3 feet in diameter on a 10-foot stick. And then they have a truck where it reminds me of the movie Soylent Green, where they just dump them into the truck. I don't know what happens to them after that. All right, so that's the end of my video. Thanks for watching. I really don't have much else to say, other than the fact that when they promise you something, like when I bought my computer, and they said it's a 30-day money-back guarantee, make sure they put it in writing. Do not take their word for something like that, because they won't keep their word. And they'll say, sorry, sir, it was a misunderstanding. But basically, they said anything they needed to say to sell you the product. You buy the product, and they say, sorry, sir, it was a misunderstanding. You did not understand what I was trying to tell you. Nobody could afford, Steve, nobody could afford to feed the stray dogs. No one person. There's so many stray dogs here. In the morning, all night long, there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 dogs that belong to my 3 neighbors. 7 that they feed them. 8 dogs. My landlord has 2 dogs personal, but she feeds about 5 of the stray dogs as well. Then my other neighbor over there, he has 3 dogs, and my immediate neighbor over here has 1 dog. And they all, I guess they get fed by the people, but so that's 3, 4, 6, and 3. There's 9 dogs in my immediate close area here. That's a lot of dogs. And I don't know how many cats there are. Not a lot, because I just don't see a lot of cats. But there are some stray cats, but not as many as there are dogs. I'm not real sure about why that is. I don't really give that much thought, because cats don't bother me, but the dogs poop, and they poop everywhere. I don't know about that, Mrs. Albanese. Alanus. Some in the U.S. buy up cheap smartphones, ballot buying boxes. I don't know. I never heard of that scam. That's a good scam, though. I have no idea about that. I never heard of that before. Never. I wouldn't even. They make a ton of money. Well, that's one way to make. They sell them in the Philippines. Yeah, I don't know anything about selling phones. Maybe that would be a good business for you, Miss Alanius. Miscellaneous. Miscellaneous. A little play on words there. Miscellaneous. Miscellaneous cell phones. All right then, everybody. I'm going to say thanks for stopping by. Take care. And of course, I'm Ping Permy from the Philippines, baby. If you see this video, and you have a hobby that, I mean, there's lots of people with lots of hobbies. Now, let's say, well, stamp collecting that's no. Model airplanes? No, there are no more model airplanes. Oh, yeah, you could fly a drone. You could buy a drone and fly a drone here. That's a lot of fun, actually, flying a drone. But now I can't fly the drone because my iPhone doesn't work. Therefore, I can't fly my drone. So that's got to get taken care of this week. Miscellaneous. What are the costs of bringing over a service dog? I don't know. I could Google that. I could ask that question. Cost of bringing Now, I know they have service dogs here because at the airport, the police have very well-trained dogs. Fully trained dogs and psychiatric service dogs may fly in the cabin at no charge. Oh, wow, that's interesting. If they meet the requirements. Fully trained service dogs, I'll put it in the comments. I'll put it down here. Fully trained service dogs. Okay, fully trained service dogs. Let's go back here. How much does it cost to bring a dog on the plane in the Philippines? Well, that's a different question. So fully trained service dogs can fly in the cabin at no charge if they meet the requirements. How much does it cost to bring a dog on a plane, Philippines? Can my dog fly with me to the Philippines? Certificates for dogs or cats must be issued by a United States DA accredited veterinarian and then endorsed by the USDA APHIS prior to travel. Okay, let's see what that says there. Oh, man. Let's see what that says. Okay, so dogs can come to the Philippines. They all have to have all their shots. But you can bring, can I bring my service dog to the Philippines? Import, okay, so here's what you got to do. Import permit, veterinarian quarantine clearance, good for 2 months. Rabies vaccination within 30 days, no longer than 1 year. Oh, there's a lot of stuff here. Can I bring the service dog to the Philippines? Okay, let's put this in I'll put this in the, when I load the video and I'll put all of this information in the comments. So in order to bring your dog, you have to get an import permit, veterinarian quarantine clearance, good for 2 months, rabies vaccination within 30 days, no longer than 1 year, additional vaccinations, again, hepatitis, canine parvovirus, health veterinarian certificate. A lot of stuff. You got to get all the vaccinations. You're welcome. The dog is good with farm animals. Oh, it's like a herd dog. A herd dog. All right, then. Thanks for stopping by for the Philippines, baby. You guys. All right. I'm Pink Permy, which of course means take care always. And I'm going to say it again. If you have a question about what it's like living here, ask me. I'll tell you. I'm here longer than most. And I don't travel much, but I do understand the way it is here. I used to travel quite a bit. When I first got here, I went to about 8 different islands to see what I wanted, where I wanted to live. I really wanted, if I had to do it again, and I had a good a good income, I would probably move. It would be my first choice, Palawan, but Coron, Palawan, not Palawan proper. That place is way over tourist area. Palawan proper, the Long Island of Palawan, that's 100 miles long. That is not someplace I would want to live. I've been there 3 times, and I enjoyed all 3 vacations on Palawan. But it's only to do the tourist stuff. To live in the province of Palawan, 50 miles, where it's really nice away from the city. It's 50 miles from the city. That's a lot of traveling. And if you have to go food shopping, you have to travel 50 miles. But on the island of Coron, I would live there about 10 miles outside the city, but I don't have enough money to live there. Most people don't. Because the prices there just are nuts. They were nuts 10 years ago. For a little lot that you could buy at the time on the water was $200,000 for a lot on the water with ocean access. And that was an undeveloped lot. But it was a beautiful place. But if you have a lot of money, the water is clean and pristine. And it's the most beautiful of all the islands in the Philippines, except for parts of Mindanao. But That's up in southern Mindanao. It's a beautiful place, but it's not for me. But there are some beautiful places in Mindanao, but Palawan would be Coron, Palawan. The island of Coron has an airport, has a lot of beautiful beaches, has access to diving, deep water diving, wreck diving, wall diving, reef diving. But that would be my first choice. But in order to live in Palawan, you'd have to have an income of somewhere upwards of $2,000 to $3,000 a month. And then you have to remember you're 7 hours away from a big city, from like Cebu. If you took boats, you're 7 hours away of travel time altogether. 7 hours. It's a big, beautiful place, but it's very far away, and that's why it's a big, beautiful place. When I first got there, you were pumping out about a video a day. Yeah, because I was doing a lot of traveling, a lot of videos. No more of that. It's very, very expensive to travel around the Philippines now. I mean, if you just get on a boat. But now it's somewhere between $40 and $60 a day for a hotel plus food. Plus you have to pay for the rent of where you are. You're talking about roughly $100 a day, one person to travel. I don't have that kind of money anymore. And even if I did, I wouldn't want to spend it on traveling. I'd spend it on a toy. Maybe I would go back and maybe I would buy a small boat, like a little something small. But and you get older, you don't have the same wants and needs that you had when you were younger. Plus, I did a lot of stuff already in my life. There's still more stuff to do, but not quite traveling around the Philippines. I've seen all of the island of Dumaguete and Bacolod. It's a giant slum. It's a beautiful, big, beautiful slum, Dumaguete and Bacolod. The city of Bacolod it's so big and it has so many nice old buildings. It's a big slum, is what it is. Cebu proper, never would I want to live there. Too many cars, too much traffic, too much pollution. When you're walking around the street at the end of the day, your nose gets all stuffed up from rubber tire dust and smoke from the jeepneys and things like that. And to live in northern Cebu, very nice there, very nice in northern Cebu, but again, you're far from the city. You have to go 40 miles out of the city to get to a really nice part of Cebu. You're 40 miles away. Here in Bohol, this was an excellent place to live. Less than 20 miles to the city, white sand beaches. Not a lot of people lived here when I moved here. It was not a tourist destination 10 years ago. It is now. Progress. Umping Permi from the Philippines, baby. Bye-bye for now. And of course, Umping Permi means take care always.